Hey everyone, Kevin Reylek here. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the DMC Elites. These are by far the not the first marked DMC Elites decks, but you see here it says Phantom Finish. These are the first deck printed at a new factory that is undisclosed by DMC and by Phil Smith, the designer. Normally when I do these videos I take the cellophane off the deck. The reason I haven't done so is that this was a limited run of 1,000 decks. And the way they did the numbering, rather than doing a numbered tuck seal, they did little numbered stickers that are on the cellophane. So this was deck 101. I bought these on launch day from the DMC store. As of the time of this recording and upload, they are still in stock. I'll put a link down in the description. But with only 1,000 decks printed, I don't imagine that these will last a terribly long time. So nice simple box, really vibrant blue tuck. With gold foil stamping on both sides, one with sort of this DMC silhouette and Elites Phantom Finish, and then this little 5 of diamonds Easter egg reveal. And then on the bottom it says Elites V5, designed by Philip Smith, Midnight First Edition Phantom Finish. So they're calling this the Midnight version. There was a previous version of a blue DMC deck, but that was an alphabet deck. So rather than playing cards, they were cards with the English alphabet on them. The Elites have gone through a history of various printers. If you go back, there was the DMC Black and Gold, there was the Rouge, there were Green and Red, which were the two versions that were printed at USPC, I believe along with that Alpha, the letter deck. So they've printed with Expert, they've printed with Cartamundi on the Rouge. The Rouge was one of the first decks on the market to use the B9 finish. And so Phil and DMC are always looking for new and interesting print partners. And so on this one, as I mentioned, it is an undisclosed printer, but they're calling this their Phantom Finish. And it is a nice linen, sort of an air cushion finish. The thickness, so we'll look at our bonus cards here. There's one that I don't want to really show because it would give away the whole marking system, but so you do get an explanation card that teaches you the marks. You get a little history of the Elites. And you get near identical jokers, one of which has this 2 of Hearts reveal in his collar. The back design will look very familiar to you if you've used any of the prior DMC Elites decks. I recommend these super highly. These are one of my top 3 favorite marked decks, all of the versions. I've been using these and had the pleasure of working with Phil many times on several marked decks that we've brought to market. I have nothing to do with these though, I'm just a customer of these. I didn't help with the design or production of these. These weren't sent to me for free, there's no sponsorship here, I just bought these from the website. But these have a nice big mark that is very difficult to detect for a layperson, but very easy to read if you are in the know. Once you know the instructions, they're very quick and easy to learn, and very quick and easy to read in performance, which is what you want. You don't want to be squinting at your deck of cards while you're performing. So this new Phantom Finish really feels nice. It fans well, it shuffles well. They are a traditionally cut deck, but the edges are very smooth in both directions, which is something that I really like. So they did a great job with this Phantom Finish. You get the nice big Ace of Spades. The faces are otherwise pretty standard classic. The faces are a one-way design. I'm not going to disclose what that feature is, but if you get these and you look closely, I think you'll be able to determine what makes the faces one way. Aside from obviously on something like a 7, it's very easy to tell what the one way is, but even on something like the 8 of diamonds that would otherwise be 100% symmetrical, this is a one-way face design. And so, as we said, the rest are more or less standard. For the backs, there's a lot of information here, and these have gone through a lot of iterations over the years, so they are an openly readable deck. There's no codes, you don't have to count lines or marks or do anything in binary or do any decoding. You're just plainly reading the letter or number, and then the suits are denoted by letter as well. So this is the King of Clubs. They're very quick and easy to read. 3 of Diamonds, 10 of Clubs. Super, super easy, and really easy to read from a distance. There are very few other marked decks that can be read from as far away as this deck can. Really lovely, vibrant blue. But then in addition to the marks, so every time Phil and DMC put out a new version of the Elites, they always add a little something. So over the years, they've added in one-way marks, they've added in more marks for symmetry, so the original decks were done in such a way that from a fan or a spread, you could read them if you spread this way, but not if you fanned or spread this way, but now you can. So this is the 4 of diamonds from a tight little spread. There we go. So that's really handy. And then another thing that they've added very recently are the position marks for the one Tamariz mnemonica stack. If you know anything about memorized stacks or that kind of work, obviously Tamariz is probably the biggest name in that arena, and the mnemonica stack is one of the more popular ones in the Magic world. So if you were to set up this deck, if it weren't shuffled, and you set it up in that mnemonica stack, which I obviously have mixed this up. If I recall correctly, these do come stacked out of the box. So when you open the box, if they look shuffled, they're not actually shuffled, they are prearranged in that stack. But you have the information on there. So here I see that this is not only the 3 of diamonds, I see that this is 12. So this would let you know as you're going through using those stacks, you get that information. So this is a really wonderful deck. It feels very similar to a US playing card deck, even though it's not, even though we don't know for sure who the printer is. The handling is great. I've been using this as a desk fidget deck for a couple of weeks. It's holding up really well, and it's doing anything that I ask of it. All the normal kind of things that a magician would want from this deck in terms of double lifts or any kind of shuffle stands, what have you. Really nice quality deck, excellent marking system, terrific features. So obviously really built for magicians rather than card players, but if you are in need of a marked deck, I would highly recommend anything from this series. And so if perhaps by the time you're watching this video, this deck is sold out, check and see if, either maybe the red version from USPC is still in stock or available. They've more or less kept some version of these on the market for the past 5+ years. So even if one version goes away, odds are there's another version coming shortly thereafter. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. If you enjoyed it, please leave me a comment below. Let me know how you like this. Let me know what your favorite mark decks are. And go ahead, throw a like on this video, and subscribe if you would like to see more card overviews. Thanks so much. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time.